This list was pretty difficult to narrow down. There are so many great games on the PS4 and there are still plenty on the way too. Now, I will be including remasters on this list, mainly because some of the remasters on the PS4 are great games and I feel like they deserve to be on the list. Now, let's begin the countdown of my top 10 PS4 games. Number 10, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, most people will include The Witcher 3 in their list of favourite PS4 games, but a lot higher up than I have. Thing is, I have barely scratched the surface of this game, maybe playing about 10 hours or so at this point. Initially I was not sold on the game, but around 6 hours in I realised everyone loved this game for a reason. The combat is great once you get a feel for it and better perfect your strategies. The story and world are so immersive, and this is coming from someone who usually hates fantasy medieval style worlds. The side quests are also extremely meaningful. Whilst there are some that are go here, kill this, most of them aren't. This means that you're never wondering, why am I doing this, or when will this quest be over, which is something very few RPGs can actually pull off. Overall, The Witcher 3 deserves its praise. Number 9. Destiny. Destiny has so many problems, at least the original release did. An awful story, having to farm for planetary materials, and a lot of other things. The Dark Below and House of Wolves, Destiny's expansions, did little to fix these issues, yet despite this, I played the game for hours on end. Destiny has incredibly good gunplay, decent PvP, and raids, which are the highlight of the game. 6-player activities where you work out puzzles, slay bosses, and receive loot for doing so. The best loot in the game, in fact. There were 2 raids when I played the game, and I had 3 characters, meaning I would play the raids 6 times a week, yet it never got boring to me. Destiny may have flaws, but it sure is addicting. Number 8. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Arguably the best Assassin's Creed title. In Black Flag, you play as Edward Kenway and become the captain of your very own pirate ship, the Jackdaw. Piloting the Jackdaw is awesome, attacking ships and then boarding them is so much fun, and hearing your crew sing shanties is a really cool feature. The combat is basic but fun, and the parkour is great. The story is not the best for an Assassin's Creed game, but it's still decent and definitely better than Unity's. Number 7. Journey. This game is less of a game and more of an experience. This game is visually stunning but rather short. I do not want to spoil too much of this game. Basically, in this game you have to make a journey to a mountain. Along the way you may encounter someone else who is another player. I cannot describe why I love this game so much, so all I ask is that you play it. Number 6. Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is such a fun shooter. The maps are great, the vehicles control well, and game modes like Conquest and Rush are so much fun. The game has tons of weapons to choose from along with 4 distinct classes. Unlike most shooters, the guns aren't locked behind level but rather challenges and experience with specific gun types, which is a far more rewarding system in my opinion. Having to play the game well to get more weapons and attachments may put some people off, but it makes you a better player in the end, so it is worth chasing these weapons. Also, knocking down the skyscraper in Siege of Shanghai never gets old. Number 5. Infamous Second Son. Second Son offers some of the best graphics on the PS4, along with incredibly good gameplay. Having 4 different types of powers instead of just one is really awesome, and offers far more variety during combat than Infamous 2 ever did. I found the story to be engaging, but ultimately not as memorable as Infamous 2's. Boss fights were cool but kind of forgettable as well. The soundtrack is awesome though. Number 4. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I bought this game on a whim as it sounded interesting. An undercover cop in Hong Kong? Sounds pretty cool. As I came up with this list, this game slowly kept rising because I realised it is just so good. The story kept me engaged and just kept getting better and better, even if it was a little bit predictable. This game is an open world game, but is not a GTA clone. The game does not focus on firearms, but rather on hand-to-hand combat. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the Batman Arkham games, only minus all the gadgets. The graphics in this game are also great, with plenty of cool lighting effects. It also looks amazing when it rains at night too. This game does have some issues though. The driving is a little bit too slippery, and the voice acting is hit and miss. However, that doesn't stop this from being a great game. Number 3. Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is one of the best games on the PS4. It perfectly captures the feeling of a world destroyed by nuclear bombs. Fallout 4 also includes a voiced protagonist. Some dislike this, but I personally liked it. The gameplay is also very good, although the PS4 version does have some frame rate issues. Another great thing in Fallout 4 are all the different perks. There are so many perks that give the possibility for so many different builds whilst playing the game. Fallout 4 also features a settlement system, which lets you build a small place for NPCs to live and set up jobs for them and trading posts between settlements. Some issues with this game include the dialogue wheel and lack of player choice. You pretty much have to be the good guy. These flaws don't stop it from being an awesome game though, and one that I highly recommend. Number 2. Metal Gear Solid 5. MGS5 is one of the best games of 2015 and one of the best games on the PS4. In my opinion, it also has the best graphics of any game on the PS4. The game offers hours worth of content and has the best gameplay of the MGS series. The story is pretty good too, but not quite as good as the other MGS games. Building your weapons and mother base is a really cool addition that helps you as enemies adapt to your tactics. Enemies will wear helmets if you go for headshots, they'll use body armor if you use lethal guns against them, and eventually they wear full body armor. Also, being able to have companions such as D-Dog and Quiet is an awesome addition to the game. If you like stealth games, you'll love Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, and I'm pretty sure it's the only game where you can listen to You Spin Me Right Round while sneaking through Afghanistan. Number 1. Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA 5 has one of the most memorable open worlds in recent years. The game perfectly blends a huge city with mountainous and desert areas. The game also features 3 likable protagonists, or at least as likable as psychotic murderers can be. Franklin is a gangster who wants to have a better life, Michael is a retired bank robber who is unhappy with his life, and Trevor as well. Trevor is Trevor. The story isn't the most memorable, but it has humour which helps keep it from becoming stale. This game also has some of the best driving and cover-based shooting mechanics in a game in my opinion. It also has a huge amount of licensed music on the in-game radios to make your killing sprees that much more upbeat. Oh, and the online mode is decent. Being able to mess around with your friends is great fun and greatly increases the replay value of this game. Probably why I've sunk so many hours into it. Did you agree with my list? If not, let me know in the comments below. Maybe even leave your top 10. If you enjoyed this video, then consider liking it and subscribe if you are new for more videos like these. As always, thanks for watching.